Welcome. Looks like we're live. I am the real Brooke Mackey. For those that don't know me, I'm the Queen Bee. I haven't always been this. I've transformed yet again. And tonight I'll be doing, I'm so excited for this message that's coming through. It is delicious and juicy. And all things fun, yum, and come, which is just the recipe for a blissful life. And I'm so excited for this message. So if you're tuning in, say hello, pop into my comments. Okay, yeah, as soon as you can hop back on, and then I'm going to record it. It's going to be available. In fact, can someone please hold me accountable? I never watch my stuff. I just assume it's fantastic. Will someone please make me come back and watch this? Okay, because I put a post up in the Beehive earlier today. If you are a sister and you're looking for support and you are a woman ready to claim her crown as the queen of her life, please come join us in the Beehive. I will be popping that in the comment section here in a minute, okay? Well, thanks, Sandra. It is always fantastic. Okay, so before we dive in today, I just wanted to say, this is going to be a really interesting video, as most of them are. It's going to be some channeling. It's going to be some of my experience, strength, and hope that hopefully, like, y'all can learn from me. I think that that's just the smart way to do things, right? If you can try on somebody else's life lessons, somebody else's epiphany, somebody else's breakthroughs, you can actually cut your learning curve and you can put yourself on a faster trajectory. And that's just what successful people do. So please, by all means, learn from me, learn from what I've been going through. I'm super excited to tell you what's been up. Oh, and I gotta tell you, like, before we go any further, I gotta just own, I am really, really freaking proud of myself. I am someone that can roll with the punches like no other. And not only do I get knocked down and get back up again, I get up more powerful, more tapped in, more radiant, more myself. And hello, here I am. Okay. All right. So I posted some questions. I'm going to get into some channeling here in a minute. And if I'm going to say this right now, so if you do have some questions, you can post them in the comment section, and you can get whatever tidbit of feedback you're actually requiring right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just tapping into the energy. I'm going to relax here in a moment. You'll actually notice that my voice shifts. I've stepped out of this space so I can just be a conduit for what's wanting to come through. And I set the intention before coming live to be fully in the space of my higher self, the greatest version of me, to be in my truth and to tap into the energy of each of yours, whoever may end up watching the video. Now, time is simultaneous, and I work on many dimensions at once. And so as you listen to my words and you feel us play with the energy, and please join in, you may begin to start to feel some sensations within your being or within your body. You might begin to notice the energy moving. Notice I move energy a lot. Okay, that's what I'm doing when I do this. Movement has been one of the things that has tapped me into a level of power and genius and potency that I didn't know that I had. And oh my gosh, I highly recommend experimenting with yourself and discovering what that might be for you, because this is off the chain what is really beginning to happen right now. Okay. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Yeah, I got some cheesy smiles right now. Like, my face hurts from smiling, And I think I need some sunglasses because my future is just looking that bright. All right, for real though. So I posted this post in the Beehive, and I wanted to really begin to get just what is the energy of this collective that is going to come and watch this video. And I've got to say, isn't it magnificent? Isn't it beautiful that you, beautiful, unique, spectacular you, individuated, unlike anyone else, irreplaceable you, also happen to be, while whole and complete yourself, part of a larger, bigger whole. This sort of soul family collective where we are energetically tied and bound and connected with one another to learn and to do life with, really. And isn't it beautiful that we get to have spaces such as this where we can come together from all different places all around the world, and we can commune and we can be together. So I just want to say thank you, first off, for being here. It is baffling and beautiful to me that, you know, I've been going through such a deep shifting and a deep transformation of my life and my life path and my life's work over the last few months, couple weeks in particular. And isn't it interesting? Here I am, my ego self, my smaller me, the part of me that I'm actively loving and calling out on her shit. She wants to tell me that I'm the only one, you know, that could possibly be feeling that way, that could possibly be going through what I've been going through. And isn't it funny? So I put this post up and I just put out some kind of probing questions to get where you're at, so that this talk can be truly tailored to you and where you're at in your life. And I'm reading these comments. I'm wondering what my purpose can be. I have something of value. How do I bring it to the planet? How do I find more fulfillment? How do I find more ease in relationships? And, you know, I've said it to people over the years, and I've had it said to me, and I hate having it said to me, even though it's so true. Hate having it said to me. The things that you have struggled with the most in your life are actually the places where you, as a necessary byproduct, without like even any choice, you end up developing them as superpowers. Those spaces where you struggle the most are the places where you develop superpowers out of necessity. Those places where you have trouble actualizing, where you have trouble, you know, using that manifesting energy and pulling in what you're actually looking for, those places are actually the places where you become a genius. Because you've had more training than anybody else in that area. No, it's so true. But I really, I hate owning that. I hate, because then it was like, oh my gosh, hold up, wait a minute. I'm going to actually have to go take what I've been learning, and I'm going to have to go do something with it on the planet. And yet, if you're real with yourself and you really check in with the deepest part of you, like truth. And before we go any further, you guys, the truth feels expansive. It feels fun. It feels sensational too. You might get a jolt through your being. I get goosebumps and tingles at the top of my head down to my feet when it's the truth. Okay? You know what the truth feels like. And then a lie feels heavy or gross, like you're being squished. Okay. So every single thing that comes through tonight, please, just through your own personal lens, we're in a time of great doublespeak and mistruth and flat out lies and misrepresentations. And so we must be discerning, and we must discover how to discern the truth within ourselves. Okay, so please do not listen to myself or to anybody else, or even that mean voice in your head no matter what it might be saying, if it doesn't feel true for you, if it doesn't zing you, if it doesn't feel expansive. Don't listen to it. Only take what is true for you. Now, I do ask you before we get into this chat tonight, I'm going to talk about some things, and some things are going to come through, and probably some of them are going to be pretty uncomfortable even for me to deal with, even though they're coming through me. That's why y'all are going to make me watch this again. Okay. But just try it on. Like, it's like being at a store and taking a bunch of stuff into the dressing room. Just try it on and see if it fits for you, and then keep what fits. And if it doesn't fit, and by the way, if you go look around your life and you start to see a bunch of things that no longer fit, stop buying them. Okay, like in each moment of your life, whatever you were focused on, whatever you were paying attention to, you are paying attention. You are paying for that moment. What are you currently buying with your attention? What are you currently investing your focus and your energy and your creative force in? Okay, so you might want to look at like what's hanging in your closet, your proverbial closet of life, and what you've been focused on. And you might want to actually ask yourself, is this something that I want to perpetuate and I want to continue? Because my focus on it, my focus on fighting it, my focus on resisting it, my focus on avoiding it is actually all still focus, y'all, and it compounds it. If you've got stuff in your proverbial closet of life and it's not true for you, stop buying it with your attention so you can then invest your energy somewhere else in some of these other spaces we're going to be talking about tonight. And that is how you change your reality lickety split. Did I just say lickety split? Weird. I'm weird. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start to read through some of these comments that were posted earlier today. And I know, my dear love, you're not going to be on until later, and you're going to watch this recording, and it's going to be amazing. Okay. But I am going to start with you because your comment, my dear friend, is right exactly where I'm at. She says, I'm just wondering what my purpose can be now that I'm free from all the trauma and drama. She's working on building out a van. She's getting ready to go hit the road. But she says she's starting to feel directionless. She's been sitting around not doing much for 1.5 years, and she wants to regain her sense of purpose and aliveness. Nothing wrong, just nothing super right either. And I got to tell you, gosh, I so relate to that feeling. And this comment actually describes where I was at, I think, probably end of November. This like weird space, kind of like I'm in a hallway, and there's nothing like really super wrong, but nothing's great either. And it started to like really itch at me. It was super like uncomfortable. I'm feeling it right now. Super uncomfortable because it wasn't a right fit for me or for what I was really wanting for my life. Ah, you love my weird. Thanks. I love my weird too. Like falling really madly in love with myself, and it's beautiful. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. So, like I have to tell you, I have to back up, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story tonight. I've talked about the car accident before, December 12th, 2012. I had a near-death experience that shook me awake. It was the beginning of my awakening. And I walked away without a scratch, but that was definitely a near-death experience. I've had them before, and it was potent. And I decided in that moment, after that moment, that I really had to start living my life. I couldn't keep living somebody else's life. I was freaking miserable, and honestly, I was going to die. I was going to die if I continued to live the way that I was living. And I looked around my life, and like, I was living in a flat out fire swamp of trauma and drama. I was getting shwasted. Shwasted, it's a technical term for white girl drunk. On a frequent and regular basis. I was unhappy in my marriage. I was working a job that I was overworked. I was exhausted. I felt like a slave. I didn't know who I was. I didn't recognize myself when I looked in the mirror, and I felt like a freaking hypocrite because I would go to school and I would teach these kids, like, go be all of yourself in the world. And I didn't even know who that was. And so a series of events, and isn't it always a series of events? I decided after that car accident, things needed to change. And boy, did they ever. I became very open-handed with my life. Like everything had to fall apart. And then I had a moment. Like I realized I had like all of this trauma and drama stuff. And I spent the last good freaking chunk of years. It's been 8 years, y'all. It's been 8 freaking years resolving the shit that I had from the fire swamp of trauma and drama. I gotta blow it up. Blow it up. Check it, y'all. Blow it up. Okay, but I spent 8 years working through all of this. And I do believe that, yes, you must go work on this. The energy has shifted now, though. And they're going to tell me here in a second. We've got different ways to work through it now. Back when I first got started, all of this was slow moving, slow processing, and now it's instant. You can actually have an epiphany, realize a truth, have an awareness about yourself, get to the root, and alchemize it immediately, and your entire reality is shifted forevermore. We've gotten that fast. And honestly, it's been all of us that have been working really behind the scenes for the last however many years. You're welcome, y'all. It was exhausting. I'm so tired. Because you know what? I did it. I did the whole, like, realize you're in a fire swamp of trauma and drama, make it out of indecision ditch, start out on the route to recovery, encounter all the freaking characters, the crocodiles and the hippos that want to eat you for breakfast, even though you're there to provide for them, and white wolves that seem like they're protectors, but they're just in hiding. And I had created, like, all of this curriculum and all this stuff around it over the last year and a half. And then at the end of November, I had this epiphany. I realized that I was faking it in a lot of my life. I actually had the timelines pop up again from this near-death experience. I had like a repeat scenario, thankfully without the car crash this time. It just like popped up in my mind's eye. And that's all it took to get my attention this time because I have feather touch awareness. I like to learn lessons quickly. Like you can get there too, just ask for it. Okay. So I just had to see it. And I knew like, oh my God, if I continue being the way that I've been being, I'm going to have a life I really don't want to have. And if I take this leap and I go this other way, oh, that feels expansive. Oh, that feels fun. I'm going to go that way. Okay. And I had this moment again at the end of November and, shit. Seriously. Damn it. Because I've had these kind of things before, guys. Like, there's got to be something more. That's the epiphany. It's this thought. It's this, like, fleeting feeling that, like, nags at you, though. It's not really fleeting. It's fleeting the first time through. And then it, like, sits and pecks at you. And it's like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more than this. Oh, my gosh. There's got to be more. Why don't I feel like I'm enough? When will I ever be satisfied? Can anybody else relate? Am I the only one? Okay, so that's the epiphany. And a lot of us have been on a route to recovery for a really long damn time. And we've done all the self-help things, and we've like found religion and then lost it, and found spirituality and created a relationship and found it within ourselves. And we've had breakthrough after breakthrough, and we've miraculously healed physical things in our body that don't make sense. And, you know, we've worked the 12-step programs, and we've done the seminars, and we've gone to this thing, and we've done that thing, and we're certified in this, and we have a degree in that. And by the way, I also do this too. Highly qualified over here. Very, very highly qualified. And then I was sitting there looking at it, and it's like, well, gosh, the energy's shifting, right? You know, 12/21 of this year, we had a big shift. We're now in the age of Aquarius. That was the age of Pisces. And I am a Pisces, and I got to tell you, that shit's intense. That is a complicated soul right there. So we were in a complicated time on planet Earth, a time where like we were actually being forced to go to our depths. We were being forced to go swim around in the dark. And a lot of our attention was called there. But now, oh no, a new day has dawned. We are in a new time and a new space and a new energy. It's way more fun here. And we don't actually have to reside in that trauma, drama, BS, or on that route to recovery. No. We tap into the fullness of ourself and our state of being, and our entire reality shifts around us as if by magic, because you are a potent creator like that. Okay? So I had this epiphany. Damn, man. I had this epiphany at the end of November that I had been really making a lot of things hard for me, for myself. And I was really tolerating and allowing a lot of struggle and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of like emotional turmoil that I just didn't need to have there. And I made a decision to pull myself the rest of the way out of the fire swamp of trauma and drama. And, you know, again, like every time I burn an old identity to the ground, oh my gosh, which has happened like 1,000 times since the end of November. Wild. I wonder who I'll be next. Every time that happens, there's a new up level, and not everyone. In fact, if you could just get okay with, if you could just become familiar with, like, I'm willing to be open-handed with everything in my life, everyone and everything, and I can love things and people and situations and ideas and experiences for what they are in this now moment, because that's where your power is. If you can love it right now and love it fully, but then also be willing to like, yeah, it's run its course. I'm going to allow it to flow. See, so many people shut off their power to create because they think that they must keep clinging to that which they've already created, because they're afraid, number one, if they let it go, that somehow they'll lose like credit or brownie points in the 3D reality. Old programming, ditch it. Okay. Or they think that something better won't ever come along, and so they just cling. And so I was in this really interesting space. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay. I wiped some dust away and I disappeared for a moment. Wild how that happens. So I was in this weird space where like I knew I had to be open-handed, and then I was being called to release this, release that, be honest about that, and open up your hands. Because here's the deal, you cannot create anything on untruth. Nothing will ever be built on untruth, on lack of truth, on something other than what is true. I mean, you can try to build it, freaking sure, have at it, and you are 100% wasting your time, your energy, your resources, your magic. Because if you're trying to build something on a shoddy, shaky foundation, it is just going to crumble. And so if you have places in your life where you have not been true to yourself, acknowledging your truth, taking action on it, speaking it, doing something with it, moving forward with it, and you're wondering why you don't have the level of success or happiness or fulfillment that you desire, well, that's why. Okay? You're not here to be anything other than you. And you are here to be fully you. Which means that some of you need to actually step out of all the bullshit you're not really, all the BS belief systems and old baggage. Not today. Not today, just fire swamp. Get out of here. Some of y'all need to step out of that. Some of y'all need to go step out of your shoulda shoes. Your shoulda shoes. I'm going to talk about shoulda shoes. Just created it on the spot. Genius. Shoulda shoes. Let me make a banner. Shoulda shoes. You guys ever should all over yourself? Man, I was doing so great, and then I should all over myself. You know, that's like when you get a bad case of the shouldas. Well, I should have done this, and I should have said that, and I should have been like this. No, you know what? If you are shoulda-ing yourself, well, number one, you're trying to change the past, which you can't do. And number two, you're totally twisting yourself into a pretzel and giving away all your power. You're totally not in the present moment. You're probably catastrophizing the situation, and you're giving away your power. So, funny, they want me to go here. Okay. There's a lot of things that I thought should have happened by now. Anybody else? You guys relate to that? There's a lot of things that I thought should have happened by now. Well, if I had it my way, I should have done this. Which is so funny. Because the only thing that you are actually here to be is actually all of you. I'm going to make a banner for that too. The only thing that you are actually, can I type and spell at the same time and talk? Here to be is you. Now, here's the deal. Nothing more and nothing less. Nothing more and nothing less. And so many people have spent so much time turning down the volume of themselves, twisting themselves into a pretzel, denying their truth, sticking around with people that don't serve them, fighting things that really should have just been done and dropped and left behind. You know, picking at old wounds from the fire swamp of trauma and drama. So many people spend so much time doing that. They spend so much time focused on what they should have done, on what other people think, on other people's judgments or opinions. They spend so much time being focused on what they thought they would have accomplished, but they haven't yet, and so much time swimming in shame and beating themselves up for that, that they actually miss the magic of the moment. Are you doing that? I was. Oh man, I just felt a big release. Thanks for allowing me to acknowledge that truth in front of you. Wow, there's so much more space now. You guys, the alchemy is that easy. It's like actually just speaking what's so out loud and then, oh. So I was totally wrapped up in what it needed to look like, what I thought it needed to look like. And you know what? I've had enough detours on my path to know that my journey is actually quite beautiful. that I'm always taken care of. I'm always provided for. I'm always in the right place at the right time. And, all the things that didn't work out the way that I thought that they would actually have every single time opened the door for something greater, something more magnificent, something that is so much a better fit for me. And I think it's so interesting that, she brings up really wanting to regain a sense of purpose, because I feel this. I was working on this project, but I didn't want to stay in that swampy space. And I've pulled myself out of it. And then I was feeling really directionless. I'm like, is this even going to go anywhere? Do I even want it to? And the truth was, no, I didn't. The truth is, I was clinging to a lot of things that I thought that I had to have in order to prove that I was enough. And, maybe I am just a scam because everything doesn't work out the way that I think that it should. There was some drama going on. But when I chose to, I'm leaving this once and for all, I'm choosing something more. And you choose to step into the great beyond. And you go into the labyrinth of your own being. You've got to be willing to be open-handed. Because that journey into the fullness of yourself will actually require you to sacrifice every single thing that is not you. That is not true for you, that was created to please somebody else, that was built on some old shit. It will get implemented. Do you want to know why all your other business ideas and the companies you've worked with and the relationships and the jobs and this and the that haven't worked? Or why you haven't hit your goal? Because your vision is actually so much greater. Your potential is so much greater than that piddly little freaking goal that you set for yourself. And you are actually here to be fully you. Nothing more, nothing less, but fully you. And so all the things that do not allow you to be fully you, that do not empower, encourage, light up, support the fullness of you being you, they fall away. And 99.99% of your suffering literally comes from trying to fight at that which is trying to fall away for your benefit. The universe abhors a vacuum. There's an immediate, when you clear the space, there is an immediate, no gap. But if you don't ever allow there to be space in your reality and space in your life, you're never going to find the fullness of you. Okay, so I'm really done, you guys. If I'm being the fullness of me, I don't mind dipping back down into those spaces occasionally. Freaking killer at it. And I don't want to feel directionless because I just don't feel like that's my purpose. What if your purpose is actually something so much greater? What if our purpose now is actually to go create the great beyond? When you've done all the other things, as I know many of you here have, isn't it time to just step forward as the leaders of the new earth and go create what there is to create now? Hence the new bread. Have you guys seen all the new changes? Oh. So I have to say, I got dumped for the first time in my life by my business partner. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me on many different levels. Number one, Brooke freaking Mackey survived being dumped. Yep. Number 2. Hello, glow up. And the ideas are flowing now. I'm so excited. I am so excited about what is being created. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I actually have a feeling that a lot of what is going to be created is going to kind of spill out tonight over this video as I kind of just relax and drink some carrot juice out of my goblet. My chalice, pardon. Okay. What if the thing that you think is happening to you isn't actually happening to you, it's happening for you? Oh my God. You're telling me I just dodged the bullet of having to, like, literally for the rest of my life be forced to deal with people and their freaking trauma shit all the time? I don't have to do that? Oh my God, I'm free. That means I don't have to keep reliving it in myself, and it can just be done because I'm done with it. It's done. And I can focus on creating and expansion and all of the infinite beauty that is around me. I don't know what just happened to my music. I gotta fix it, y'all. There we go. So, have you seen the new branding? You should come check it out. I'm really excited for what's being created. All right. So we had a bunch of comments on here. I'm just going to read through a couple of them so we kind of set the energy of this, and then I'm going to tell you what cards came up in this reading. And I just had to tell you that beginning story and all of that first 36 minutes of whatever that was, to let you know I think that many of us are in the same spot. I think many of us are in a space of, upheaval. We're going to talk about this. Actually, right now might be the best time. A lot of people have been experiencing a lot of anxiety. This is interesting to me because it's card 18, and 18 for me means one infinite one. Okay, so who's been feeling anxious? Who's been like biting your nails up all night, worried, in fear? Worst case scenarios pouring through your head. Tears running down your face. Oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel stuck. I feel in a rut. Your heart's beating. Your hands are sweaty. Mom's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. You feeling that? You feeling that kind of anxiety? Yeah. Okay. You're welcome for that little rap sesh. Look, if you're feeling this way, I've got to tell you, I can relate. You're an infinite being. That is a totally valid way to feel. And I just invite you to look at, is it actually solving anything? Is being in that space actually helping you move forward? Okay? Or not? Because for me, I had all of this oh my God, I am itching. I am so itching to create. I just want to create. I've got so much to say. If this cornucopia, this is the overall energy of this whole reading right now, you guys. I've never seen a reading like this. I'm so jazzed about the energy that's about to come through. Cornucopia, do you see that? Oh, golden rays of sunshine, rainbow orbs, beautiful forest. And this cornucopia of abundance of all the most delicious things picked straight from the greenhouse or the garden that you could ever want to eat. Yeah, please. Cornucopia is all of your life's desires, all things sweets and juicy and magnificent. Literally, they're ripe for the plucking in front of you. This is the overall energy of this chat tonight. Okay, we got to get there. Gotta get there. Look, if you are anxious, you need to go freaking feel your shit. Okay, you need to actually go take a swan dive off the high dive into the deep end of your own being. And you need to make yourself take this spirally slide down to the very basement of you and go sit with what the hell is your greatest fear there anyway? What are you so freaking worried about? And you need to let yourself feel all the shit you've not been allowing yourself to feel, because it is totally sabotaging you from behind your awareness. It's robbing you of your power, your health, your vitality. And I get it. You don't want to acknowledge it because you don't want to create more of it. Well, no. Your lack of acknowledging it is resistance and it is focus. So seriously, go dive into the deep end. Go ugly cry out. Go scream into a pillow or break something if you need to. Get it out. For real. Okay? For real. You're welcome, because you're going to feel like a different human on the other side, and you're going to have some space for yourself. Sometimes I write stuff down. I light it on fire. It's a big signal to your unconscious mind to actually let go of that which is no longer freaking serving you. But don't avoid it. Like, seriously, go have an all-out tantrum. All out. All out. Okay. Meanwhile, y'all, if you've got some hostilities going on in your external reality, I invite you to go take a look at maybe where you're being hostile with yourself. And then also, by the way, I got to say, there's just a bunch of this shit going on right now. So if you like check in with yourself and you're like, no, I'm pretty good. Like, we're pretty homies inside of me right now. I have a lot of personalities. They all get along now. It's a big party over here. But we're really seeing the separation right now. We're really seeing the, it feels like Velcro to me. It feels like pulling Velcro apart. And we're becoming more and more separate. And I'm in this new space. New Earth. Everything happens with ease and joy and fun and yum and come and yeah. And there's another choice, right? And some people are still choosing that other space. And right now we're seeing the separation of it. And we're really I'm seeing like a bucket of milk with the cream rising to the top, right? We're seeing the separation begin to happen. Oil and water don't mix. We're seeing that separation happen right now. And it's creating some hostilities. This is number 26. This is hostilities. So what they're telling me is that 26 is 8. 8 is abundance. It's infinite abundance. That you being wrapped up in hostilities, you choosing to continue to play those games, you choosing to go back and fight these situations that are making you anxious, you are totally wasting your energy. That you could actually have infinite abundance, which is 8, which is this card, if you would just freaking lay down the sword and walk the heck away from the situation. Okay. Which, by the way, is totally how I usually choose to handle my shit, because queens don't fight. They just don't. It's not necessary. I just go create more life, more beauty. Not to say I wasn't once a fighter. For real. If you knew old Brooke, let me reintroduce you, because now I handle things energetically. All right. I'm just in all of my weirdness tonight. Y'all love it? I love it. I think this is really exciting. I'm really excited to just have more of this. Oh my God. I've been finding the most amazing, because I have this whole new version of me that is here now. And so get ready. Get ready. It's going to be epic. Okay. Attachment. Number 5. I must cling to this thing I thought I wanted forevermore. That's attachment. So I did a video the other day and it was called Choose to Change or Get Drug. When you have attachments to things or to people or to whatever situations or whatever in your life, old belief systems, traditions, values, judgments, oaths, vows, contracts, whatever. When you have attachments, the way I see it in my mind, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of gross. It's like if someone were to take like fish hooks and clip them underneath your skin and attach all these tethers and chains and bags of putrid slime all over you. That's what it's like to have a whole bunch of attachments. It's like, you know, if you were to walk into a river and then come out covered in leeches, those are attachments. And a lot of us are attached to a lot of things that we are not even consciously aware that we are attached to. Like, are you maybe attached to self-sabotage? Are you maybe attached to, you know, never feeling good enough? Are you attached to toxic relationships or addictions? Okay? Are you attached to those old belief systems? Like, have you been, this is what I see. And I see it all the time, you guys. It's gross. Really grosses me out. I like literally actually see this like with my mind's eye. When I'm out and I see people interacting, they have all these putrid bags of stuff all over them, and I can see it on their body. And the more that they have, the more like wrinkles they have in their everywhere, and the more their skin sags and the more extras. And I can feel them like opening it up, and I see dark circles on eyes, and people look gray when they do this a lot to themselves. But I can energetically see them like they have a negative thought about themselves, and they like open up the bag and they just add more putrid shit to carry around with them. And then they do this weird thing where like they're so attached to all their shit. They're so attached to it, and they've like kept score, and they have all these brownie points in it, and they got to store it all. You guys, this is the cause, by the way, of all dis-ease, all of it. What I'm describing right now, and you can see it in your head, right? So I invite you, can you imagine yourself in your mind's eye standing in front of a mirror, and can you acknowledge the attachments and the baggage that you have been carrying around with you? Can you just look at it? Are you willing to look at it? Because look, if you're willing to look at it, as yuck as it is, if you're willing to look at it and you're willing to be like, oh, yeah, whoa, I have been carrying around that baggage. I have been perpetuating that pattern far too long. I have been allowing that old belief system to control me. It doesn't actually fit me anymore. And you know what? Like, it's okay. You are an evolving being. Your evolution is beautiful. You are magnificent, and you were always doing the best that you knew how to do at any moment in time. Okay, but when you have an awareness of, look, I've been doing this to myself, I've been holding on to these things, I've been super attached to this whatever, you can actually choose to let that go now. So if you could just in your mind's eye, you know, once you see what baggage you've been carrying, if you could just take it off and let it go. Okay? And your imagination, I cannot stress this enough, your imagination is real. It is the most potent, powerful thing that exists. There is no technology, and there will never be any technology stronger than a finely tuned, tapped in, fully embodied human being that recognizes that they are 100% divine and 100% human simultaneously. There is no stopping that. There is nothing like the creative genius that flows from people that reach this level. But if you have any kind of attachments, oh, gross. It's so funny. I just said this, and the virus, Trojan, malware thing popped up on my computer. That's what this is. Okay, this kind of shit is malware, it's viruses, it's Trojans on your system. Now, I like to talk about things from a variety of different angles, so hopefully it hits you from the angle that you get it. You are sabotaging your system. You are sabotaging your security and your creative ability if you're hung up on attachments. And you know why you have anxiety? Because you're freaking super attached to a bunch of shit that's probably being really hostile towards you. By the way, like, your bank account could be hostile towards you if you don't have a good relationship with it. Is it yelling at you? All right. Look, just staying in this space and holding on to it, it does not help. So let yourself go spin down the spiral, let go of the shit, walk away from the hostilities. Haha. Because your cornucopia is here. It's already here. I've been hearing it for the last few days. That it's so beautiful. Okay. As all of the financial systems around the world, the way that we've been doing things is really crumbling right now. And I don't go do your research on that. I'm not a financial advisor by any means. Please go do your research. But there is much happening in the financial world right now. And it is very interesting to see. The old systems crumble, which we knew that they would. They were built in the age of Pisces, and now we are in the age of Aquarius, and all kinds of new systems and all kinds of new things are going to come online. Why? Well, because we're all waking up and we're all coming home to our power and our genius, and each one of us has a magic and a gift and a thing that is going to be brought earthside through us. Okay. And that's what most of these comments were about, is how do I discover my work in the world? What does it look like now? I know that this last year plus now has been a time of much upheaval for a lot of people. But chaos always creates change. Chaos always creates something different. And you have the opportunity now to step entirely into a totally different reality than anything you have ever encountered before. A true cornucopia. With true partnership, 11 is the number, twin flame number, which really you must create that within yourself. Divine masculine, divine feminine, divine child. Realize that's there within you. You are the Holy Trinity. Like, you shed what you're not and you let go of the fear. And this becomes you in your life, in your reality, and it is inevitable. Inevitable. Unavoidable. Okay, so they're telling me I need to pause for a moment. Actually, I'm going to go here real quick. This is card 24. Adjacent possibilities. So not too long ago, I was feeling very stuck in a hallway. I was feeling very trapped. I felt like I didn't know which way I could go, forward or back. I didn't know. I was really dependent on other people's timelines before I could move forward. And I felt so stifled and I felt so stuck. The truth is that we are creative beings. We are here to create. Now, however you are meant to create is unique for you, and it shows up in all kinds of different ways. Each one of us has genius within us, something that you are just magnificent and dynamic at, and it is easy for you. It just flows for you. This is one of those things for me. So this must be part of my life work. And then I said earlier, the spaces where you have struggled the most are actually the places where you've been fortified and you've been refined. And I thought for a while that because I'd been through a lot of trauma that that had to be my angle, but no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. If that's not the space that you feel called to work, then that's not your space. Okay, there are other people that are very called to that are very great at it. All right. But if you are being called into something powerful, like what are you fantastic at? You do it and it just like is automatic. So for me, this is a really weird thing for me. I get downloads on people's relationships. Like I just see it all. I literally like can see exactly how the relationship is going to play out. If everybody maintains where they're currently at energetically in the relationship. And I can go down these little like timelines and I can like test out what might happen. And it's weird. And it's weird because it's like I don't like messing with people's free will. So like with friends and things in the past, I've been cautious about being upfront or being direct about that because I don't want to like, but then how many people do you, I don't know. It's just a thing for me. It's an area of genius for me. We do need to talk relationships. And I can see it. And it's really interesting because, I don't know, that's something I do automatically. I'm totally a kitchen witch. The food talks to me. I always know when stuff is done. I actually don't really like going out to restaurants because I always know when my food is done because it's yelling at me from the kitchen. And I can hear it, and then it's like not on the table yet, and then I get really picky about service. I don't know. I don't know. What's a weird thing that you're great at? I love art. Graphic design is my jam. I can teach anything. I'm a fantastic public speaker. I know how to tell a story. I build websites. I create curriculum. I am a leader of leaders. I've mentored people for over, how old am I now? Over a dozen years. And I've worked in every avenue I could possibly think of. So you have within you, just as a byproduct of your living, just as a byproduct of your life experience, you have within you a wellspring of skills and gifts and talents. So I invite you, sit down and like start to actually acknowledge those things about you. Put them on paper so you can see it for yourself. Because like me, I'm a freaking highly, highly valuable asset. I'm unlike any other. And I know that. And when you can know that about yourself, when you can know that, look, I truly am uniquely qualified for my work in the world. And then you're willing to, consider adjacent possibilities. Where did my notebook go? Before I sat down, they wanted me to say this. The thing that you think is the thing isn't really the thing. It's just a distraction. So how many places, Alashina totally cracked me open the other day. How many places have you been thinking that you need to have made the money, or you need to have the successful this, or you need to have the successful that before you can go do your dream, before you can go do what actually you enjoy doing? Yeah, I've done that, been there. Okay, like you guys, if that doesn't fit for you anymore and you realize how much that's stifling you, take that freaking clothing off and ditch it. Get rid of it. Get rid of that belief system. Try on something else. Which, by the way, my friend Alashina, I freaking told you, and I'm so excited. Like, you have been reborn, you've been transformed, and you were fully online. And how did you get there? By leaning into the thing that you love, your music. High five. What if like the life that you love is actually the path to the life that you love? What if the activities that you love is actually the path to the life that you love? And what if, like, God forbid, maybe because like we're in a new energy and we are powerful creators, we could just choose, because you can, when you ditch all the attachments to all the shit that isn't actually true. Oh, full circle. So I've been watching the financial system crumble. But it's just the matrix. It's just the matrix that's crumbling. By the way, all those movies were actually documentaries. You're welcome. Sorry, but now you know. Okay? So the matrix is crumbling. It's done. It's dead. We've reached critical mass. People know stuff exists beyond. So that's crumbling. Beyond the matrix, if you're willing to like step out of that, which, by the way, the fire swamp of trauma and drama is what holds up the matrix. Without the fire swamp, there is no matrix. They keep people in the matrix through trauma. It is a trauma loop matrix. Okay, so when you choose to step up out of your trauma shit, and I'm not going back there, and you choose to stop playing that game and you release it from your body and your energetic being and you're done with it, okay, matrix crumbles. Ta-da! A whole new world, right? Opens up. There is a divine inheritance. So beautiful, so vast, so abundant, so luxurious, so nurturing, so orgasmic and delicious and blissful and joyous, so filled with laughter and play and joyous connection and fun. There is a divine inheritance. There is a divine inheritance that is right there outside of your shit. The veil, it's just a veil, like pierce through it, bust through it. It's an illusion. When you're willing to come back home to yourself and be the fullness and the radiance of you, oh, Queen, there is no end. Ooh, that was intense. It's an intense feeling that just moved through me. There is a cornucopia. And there's nothing keeping you from it but you. Okay, and like, here's the deal. This is what Brooke had to freaking realize. It never shows up how you think it will. It'll always surprise and delight you. And a lot of the things that I said that I was desiring, I wasn't actually fully like with my heart desiring. There were a lot of things that I thought it needed to look like that it didn't need to look like, that it didn't need to, like, I was actually seeking an energy. I was actually seeking a feeling. Okay, so like, yeah, maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda. Did I hit the goal? I don't know. That's like old 3D thinking. We don't operate like that anymore. We step into the fullness of us. We step into the cornucopia. We consider adjacent possibilities. So I would say there's a lot of people that are like, how do I step into my business? How do I step into this? How do I build traction? How do I do this? I've got to tell you, you just get started. Number one, like, do this other work. I don't even know where I put them. We already ditched them. They're in the past. It's done. Do that other work to ditch that shit so you can be in tune with yourself, and then just start listening. Start asking questions and start listening to yourself and consider the adjacent possibilities. If it's not happening to you and it's happening for you, then you must assume it is all happening for my greatest good, even if it looks like shit right now. I've got to tell you, like, there's a reason why, like, Garth Brooks wrote that song, Unanswered Prayers. I'm such a country girl. Okay? Because there's actually a reason why some things are not panning out the way that you thought that they should, because there's actually something greater for you right around the corner. Right around the corner. But you can't get it when you're attached to just the same old. That's same old is gets you more same old. All right? Okay. It's like hot up in here. Y'all, you're so powerful. This is 8 again, by the way, 53, 8 again. Magician in the mirror. You need to go look in the mirror. You need to go look in the mirror and you need to own the truth of who you really are. You need to feel it. You're the magician. You have within you everything that you require. Have you noticed that? You made it through 100% of all of your days to this point. No matter what they've thrown at you, you are a pivoting, roll with the punches, alchemizing magician badass. Your power lies in your willingness and your ability to, like, oh, that hit me out of left field. Okay. I mean, go deal with whatever emotion it might bring up. But truth be told, like, while I was in the hallway, I felt all the emotions in the hallway. That's the key. Like, guys, if you're stuck in a hallway, inevitably at points in your life, you will be stuck in a hallway. You know, some doors have closed behind you. You're moving into a new chapter. You don't know where the next door is going to open. Inevitably, you'll find yourself in the hallway. Look, you can make good use of the hallway. Hallway is a great place to, like, sit with yourself, get quiet, get still, get real on your truth, and then own it. Hallway is a great place to feel all the things that you haven't been willing to feel. It is a great place to get real clear on who you are and what you're looking for. Hallways are great. Uncomfortable. Great. Okay? All right. Because that's when you realize, like, when you're willing to make use of the hallway, when you're willing to make use of the wait time, and you're willing to grow exponentially and make quantum leaps, you become the magician. And it doesn't matter what is thrown at you. You will bounce back with the fierceness, with a boldness and a beauty and a strength and a resilience. That's unparalleled. How do you get rid of repeated patterns? Can you be more specific? What's your repeated pattern? Peter Piper picked a pickle patterns. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so the first thing would be you've got to identify what the repeated pattern is. You've got to actually notice, like, oh my God, I do this thing all the time. And then you need to get really, really clear on what it looks like at the start of the pattern. Let me make a banner for this real quick. Okay. So you've got to identify the pattern first. You might not be able to identify the pattern right away. It might be like, oh my God, this thing keeps happening in my life. I want this thing in my life to end. Okay? The thing you think is the thing is not the thing, though. It is a distraction. So the repeated pattern is actually happening. The implosion, the explosion in your life is actually happening over and over because of something else. There's usually a trigger. You're a giant energetic antenna, so you're really aware. And when your giant energetic antenna hits an energy that reminds it of something it's experienced before, it activates inside your neurology an autopilot programming response. It just happens automatically. Your brain's like super cute and wants to keep you alive. And so it makes things as automatic and as easy and as generalized as possible. So that way it can keep functioning and doing other things it needs to do. So it's kind of like this idea of like, have you ever gotten in your car and driven to work and then you got there and you don't know how you got there because you were on autopilot? A repeated pattern is simply an autopilot program. Okay, so the first step would be you've got to identify what is that implosion thing that's happening? What is that thing that you're like, oh my God, this pattern has to end in my life? Then you need to trace it back. You need to actually backtrack it. You need to notice, like, how am I feeling? What am I aware of? What can I perceive? What's happening in the situation? How does my body feel? What led up to this implosion, this pattern? And you're probably not going to see it right away. It's going to happen a couple more times. And then you're going to be like, oh, and you'll become more and more aware. Okay. The moment of awareness that you're looking for as you go back through it, you're looking for the moment where you begin to go down that path. You'll notice there's like a time. So let's say like if the repeated pattern is you bite your nails. You realize here, oh, my God, again. Where before, like at least now I had the awareness I was biting my nails because before I would do it and my fingers would bleed, right? It's back in the day. But now I have the awareness, oh, I'm actively doing it. Okay, stop, I'm aware. I need to actually pinpoint what's happening, like even before I pick my hand up. At what point am I like, it's here that I need to get to. If you can find here, what's happening here, I can then program a different pattern of behavior. I can actually find this image in my mind's eye. You're this powerful. You can find this image and you can switch the behavior from this to okay. And really, any pattern in your life is pretty much that simple. But there's a triggering event that's leading to a chain of behaviors. And you need to get to that triggering event and you need to do the work around that. And the work around that might be like, oh my gosh, when did this start for me? How long has this been happening? When do I do this? Like, what am I feeling? What else in my life has happened that reminds me of this feeling? And then you just need to trust. You need to just trust whatever comes up for you. Okay, we don't need to go spend a whole bunch of time digging around in the fire swamp of trauma and drama anymore. We're beyond that. We do need to deal with things, though, as they become present, as they pop up in our awareness. And we can do that very quickly. You can do it very quickly. Okay, so go look at that and just go examine where that feeling is coming from. And there's likely a part of yourself that needs to be acknowledged. There's usually a part of myself that I need to be like, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Because most of the time, repeated patterns are coping mechanisms. There's a part of yourself that a younger version of you or a past life version of you that experienced some kind of trauma. This is why you've got to trust your imagination. You've got to just trust whatever comes up in your awareness. And for me, it pops up like as if it would in a dream or when I'm reading a book. Okay, like I can hear and see and sense and feel things. You just got to trust it, because you are the technology and you were magnificently finely tuned. But if you can find that moment, right, where that happens and you can go be with it, you can actually resolve it, and you can change the response like that. Please start a mastermind if you want to learn how to do this in detail for yourself, because truly it will change your reality. Okay. What else did we want to talk about? You know, the only thing that you're really here to be is you. This is super interesting. This is the next card. Number 30, the garden and the gate. So she's in this beautiful garden. Oh, gosh. And the garden, look at it. It's beautiful. It's got a birdhouse. It's got some lattice. It looks super cozy. She looks pretty secure. When I was looking at it earlier, there's a key around her neck and there's a lock in the gate. So she has the key. She could let herself out. It looks pretty beautiful beyond the garden too. But, you know, like, who really knows what might lie over that next hill? Or maybe even beyond? I don't know. Maybe she's just safer here in this familiar space in the garden. That's pretty good. So maybe you're in a place right now in your life where it's pretty good. It's familiar. It's comfortable. It feels like, it seems like I've got everything that I need. But isn't it interesting? It's like you kind of don't know what you don't know until you know, and then you know. And isn't it weird, like, once you know that something is possible, can you, like, really ever go back to anything less than what you have now discovered is possible? Like, wouldn't you just be bored to death? And so it's really interesting to me. I think that, you know, we're really being called. Everything is shifting right now. We're really being called to operate differently. We're being called to step into this great beyond, into something that is really different than anyone has ever experienced before, at least in 5,000 years on this planet. And we're being called. If you're listening to this chat, you're here for a reason. We are being called to step into something greater, to truly be the shift. You're not here in this energy on accident. You are part of the divine algorithm. Hi. Beautiful to see you. And we have great work to do here now. Alex, how does one bring in the masculine energy to frame the feminine and get shit done? How healthy is your feminine energy?
Mama, you have to point out that my thing on the bed.
Oh, yay. Give me just a second, guys.
Okay.
You take care of your body, dude.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, woman. Oh my goodness. That was a big release.
Hey, Mama.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for taking care of yourself.
But Mama, is the phone charged it?
It's fine. Yeah, you're good.
And it's charged?
You're good. You're good, girl. Take care of your body.
But Mama, I can't make my way on the phone.
Do you need my help?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back, everybody. Give me just a moment.
But Mama, I'm a big girl that can still make it fit off at this point. Okay.
All right, I'm back.
What?
I'm doing a video, Lily.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Lily. Oh my goodness. Someone needs to, seriously, you guys, your kidneys are there to process all of the fluid in your body, and your kidneys process your emotion as well. And Lily hasn't had an accident in a while, but she just had an accident. Someone needs to let their emotions go. Okay, someone needs to like actually go let some stuff flow. So you're just getting that sign right now. And everybody needs to drink more water. Okay, always. Okay, how does one bring in their masculine energies to frame the feminine and get shit done? Receive, yeah. Okay, so we've got to see first off, how healthy is your feminine energy? So your feminine energy is that mean girl that lives in your head, or not. I mean, she could be radiant she could be truly herself. She could be sovereign, esteemed, luminous, and fierce. She could be truly all of that. And if she is, and you have just recently gotten her there, you need to actually delete your masculine system and invite a new one in, and then be picky about the energy that comes in. Okay. But really, because it's a dance. It's a dance between not only, I gotta find my music again. Oh, I think it's just between. Okay. It's a dance. It's a dance between the masculine and the feminine energy, and the masculine energy is going to provide all of the ideas. And you know, like when we talk about you being your own internal guidance system, you having your own internal GPS, that's what this is. But is your feminine energy open to receive that guidance that it's getting from the masculine? Will she submit to it? Will you allow the divine child within you to be fully tapped into their self-expression and their magic and their creativity? Okay, because it's the three, you're the Trinity. And so that would be my question first, is what is your relationship with yourself? How healthy is this? Because that'll give you a big sign on how healthy your feminine energy is. And that's the work to go do, is with her, to go get her ass out of the swamp. And nobody's going to come save you, you guys, to go do that. You must go do that yourself. You must go within you and go unleash your monsters that you've kept caged and release the shame and face those demons and face that darkness. And you're going to find there's a whole treasure trove of greatness down there. Okay. Once you've done that, once the feminine energy within you, once you've realized that like every single thing that has happened to you has actually helped to create you, and you can have gratitude for that, and you can be fully the truth of you. That's what this whole chat is about. It's about being the fullness of you, being you on the planet. Nothing more, nothing less. That means I don't need to layer other people's judgments and other people's shouldas and other people's stuff on top of me. I don't need to twist myself into a pretzel. I don't need to chop off bits of me. I don't need to do any of that. I can be all of me, the multifaceted, weird, eccentric, rap god, cultivator of companies, energy witch, kitchen witch, Brooke, queen bee that I am. I don't know, plus a gazillion other things. Like, what do I feel like being now? I can be all of these things, and I don't have to diminish any of them. And that's the space that we're walking into. Business is not working here the way that it did before. You cannot compartmentalize your magnificence. The thing that you're actually here to create is going to include the fullness of you. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more and nothing less. And you have a divine inheritance available to you now. Outside the veil, outside the illusion of anxiety and hostility, scarcity, lack, fear. What timeline are you choosing? You get to choose. Like literally the Velcro is separating. Where do you choose to be? Are you going to go to the great beyond? I mean, they say that good is the enemy of great. This thought that like, yeah, what I have now is pretty good, like actually keeps you from the thing that you're truly asking for, the thing that would be the fullness of all that you would like. So like, if you're willing to lean into that, you can actually find a space. This is how you find peace within the storm, no matter what is going on in your reality, is that you truly get how powerful you are. And you truly get that I am standing so wholly, so completely, so congruently in the truth of who and what I am, that I know that every single thing that falls apart and every single thing that comes in is for me. And everything that shifts is for me. And the fear evaporates. It can't exist. There's no like real rebound time when you're in the truth of who you are. There's no upset. There's nothing wrong. Good, bad, right, wrong, should, shouldn't are all just labels that the human ego places on something that is pure. Something that is not here to actually like stifle you. It is all for your benefit. It is all for your creation. Now, you're mislabeling it. Your words have power. You're mislabeling it. You're perpetuating it. Your constant repetition of the story. Because this is the piece. We think that everybody needs to always hear all the story. Like, how will they know me? And I give y'all get bits and pieces. It all comes out over time. But no, like, spend more time telling the story of what you like to create. Better yet, tell it like it's already happened. Play with it. The door to your personal healing and happiness. So the door is right there. Stepped out of the garden gate. We went up over a couple of hills. Now we're here. We're at the door to personal healing and happiness. Will you walk through the door? And if you will, you can actually just right now in your mind's eye, just look at this card and visualize yourself walking through the doorway into the land of milk and honey. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this whole rebrand, by the way, because it truly is the door to my personal healing and happiness. B is a vision I've had since I was probably like 15 and a half. My mom used to go to these Women of Faith conferences every year. And I loved going because I always felt like I was connected to something greater when I would leave. And I wasn't really raised religious at all. But I did go to Christian summer camp and we would go to church on occasion. And I don't know. I always kind of wished that I could have a connection with that. But then in 8th grade, I prayed for bigger boobs and they didn't show up. And so I convinced myself that God was like Santa Claus and didn't exist. And then, I was like 15 and a half. I might have been 16. I don't know. I had just had some pretty significant trauma happen in my life. And so I must have been 15 and a half. It must have been that summer. And I'm sitting at this Women of Faith conference, and there's just something speaking to me, speaking through me, opening me up. And, you know, you'll hear me call it a lot of things. I think God is the easiest conception, but whatever your relationship is with it, creator, source, the universe, and then all of the other energies that come within that, Yeshua and Sophia and the angels and whoever else you might like to work with. We're open here. But I just was feeling this like energy coursing through me. And I had this big download and I saw, oh my gosh, it's so close to the new logo. Can I pull it up? I have so many things everywhere. I don't know if I can pull it up right now. Maybe I can. So I'm telling you guys this story because I had a moment this last week that I felt like I was going to die. My world felt so rocked 8 days ago now. My world felt so rocked because, you know, I'm choosing to make some choices and I've closed some doors to my past and there's a lot of things shifting and then my world was rocked and I was blindsided and I seriously was shook. And I felt like every door for my future had just closed as well. And it was real uncomfortable. I gotta blow that shit up. And devastating, like truthfully devastating. And I let myself go there and I let myself go there. There was a lot of hostility that was unexpected. And I let myself go there and I let myself like go experience the fullness of it, just like I'm asking you to go do. I never ask you guys to do anything that I don't do myself. And I went and I sat there with it. And I got to the bottom and I hit this, like when you really get to the bottom, you'll hit this place where it's like, oh my gosh. Okay. I have like released everything that there is to release. Oh my God. And I have room to breathe again. And so I hit this place. And that's the truth and the fullness of me is in that space. And I hit this space and one of my coach friends said the other day, she was like, Brooke, when are you going to get that you will never self-abandon? And I sat there like in this moment at the bottom with myself and I realized like it does not matter. It does not matter what happens to me, who hurts me, how many times I almost die, who steals what, who breaks my heart, who doesn't show up for me the way that I hope that they will, who is not true to their character, who does not live up to their word. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. It doesn't matter what my bank account says. It doesn't matter what degree I have or don't have. It doesn't matter if I get the job. It doesn't matter if I get the man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm homeless in the woods. It does not matter here or there. It does not matter anywhere. It does not matter in a house. It does not matter with a mouse. It does not matter in a box. It does not matter in a fox. It doesn't matter. I will never, actually, truly, at my core, give up on myself. I will never self-abandon. There is not a single thing that anyone can do outside of me that will ever have me do that. That will ever have me, like, not get back up again. So some of y'all are just needing to tap into that space, honey. Okay? Because look, it's all a game. And you're playing it. And it can either be playing you, or you can be the badass in control of the board, thriving. It's a choice. And when you truly get that you are here to be the fullness of you. And you know what? Like I started to feel it. I'm sitting there at this conference and I was starting to feel this kind of power flow through me back then. And I got this huge download and it looks just like the logo. That's what I was going to show you guys. So I was devastated. I was just thrashed, like to my core. I have never felt so disrespected and so discarded as I did in that moment. And thank you for allowing me to feel that, because I felt that, I got to the bottom, I got clear, and something started buzzing within me. And I got to tell you, you know what I love about bees? Bumblebees are not supposed to be able to fly. Bees actually create a vibration within their thorax that allows them to fly. They create a vibration that creates an energetic bubble around them that literally allows them to levitate, and they can take a 35 to 40 mile an hour headwind. They can be blown off course, totally out of left field, unexpected, but keep on flying in a straight lane because their vibration is so powerful. And if that ain't me, baby, I don't know what is. I've said for a while that I am the queen bee. And I'm sitting there and I just had this big download, and I'm going to show you here in a second what I created. I'm so excited about this. This is my creation. If you guys see this anywhere else, it's not theirs, it's mine. And it is such a beautiful play on what I had created when I was 16. Because when I was 16, I saw the bee just like this, like the letters B. But inside the BE were all the designs that are inside the insect bee now. Oh my God, isn't it beautiful? So I had been working for a really long time, and I'm going to pull this up too. Let me find it. Not there. I make funny faces when I'm looking for stuff, so you're welcome. Opening. Okay, and then how do I get this to switch for you guys? Share screen. Okay, so I had been playing with, this is the work that I was doing in the world. I was spending a lot of time like over here and helping people get out of the fire swamp and move along this route to recovery. Well, in this big blow up, I have to say goodbye to this. So this will be the last time that you guys see this. And I'm so grateful because, to be honest, we just don't need to exist there anymore. We have moved beyond. There's something so great happening. And what's happening is actually here in this land of something more. In the labyrinth, where you actually tap into a state of being the fullness of you. So excited. So I'm creating something magnificent. I've realized some things, and I can't wait to see, like they're percolating right now. I've had this vision for a while and it's percolating right now. So if you are someone that's watching this and you've heard my previous visions, I'd love to chat with you. I'm not going to divulge too much right now. I'm also live on YouTube. However, if you would like to message me, if you are curious about how you can get your work into the world, you can tap into the fullness of you, you can bring your magic and your miraculous life earth side, you can step directly into a new reality, and you can help other people do the same while increasing your financial flows. Because let's get real, our divine inheritance includes all of the projects, the people, the resources, the magic, the creativity. It includes it all of it. Okay. If you are interested in doing that, please drop me a line over here. We're going to be having, I think I'm going to do it on Zoom chit chat so we can all get in and start to powwow with each other here shortly. But I'm up to something fantastical. And then I wanted to show you guys, where did it go? Here we go. Okay. So we were just talking about this door to personal health, healing, and happiness. Many of you are expressing wanting to move forward with something that feels fulfilling to you. Start with the things that already feel fulfilling to you. Don't worry about just yet how you're going to get paid off of it or how you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And again, y'all, I'm only speaking to you from experience. I would never ask you to do something I haven't done. But go chase the passion. Go chase the thing that lights you up. Okay? Because we're really being called to be lit up. There is this Angel of Balance. Ooh, I love this card. So immediately I'm drawn to the blue in this card, and blue is your throat chakra. So you guys, it's time to start to speak your truth. If you haven't started already, if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you've been thinking about going live more often, I'm getting ready to roll out some TikTok videos. Pretty excited. Pretty goofy. I like being goofy. So I'm immediately drawn to the blue here. What truth do you need to speak? In this time of great upheaval and change and shifting and great awakening, people actually need to be hearing the truth. Okay, and again, you can tell what is true, but people actually, they're looking. Their eyes are being opened. They're having things become available to them, I guess, that maybe they were blind to before, that they didn't want to acknowledge before, that they didn't know before. And so are you being called to share yourself and to open up more and share your truth, speak? Okay, it's super interesting. She has a potion as well. And then she has the pyramids right behind her. This is all about energetic alchemy. So how much you need to discover the balance. You're going to need to discover the balance between, operating in the physical and needing to have tangible 3D physical results right now and being willing to work energetically. Oh, yeah. Oh, someone didn't want me to say that. Oh my God, they don't want me to say that. I'm going to say it anyway. Let me get some water and I'm going to say it anyway. I really love breaking the rules. Don't tell me what to not talk about. I'm going to talk about this. So we're in this time of separation and things operate differently. We've actually opened the door to spirit. We're living in this new energetic space of possibility and ease. You have within you, flowing within you, this Christ consciousness, this Yeshua-ness that flows within you. You are a powerful healer of the ages. That's why you're on this call. Okay, so if you didn't know it already, I just want to tell you, you're really magnificent and powerful. It's time to own that shit. Okay, but you've got to really call on this line of thinking, you must be balanced right now. There is a lot of deception in the 3D world. Things are not as they appear with your eyes. Nothing is what it seems. You must use something greater. You must use your knowing, your perception, your energetic antenna, your sixth sense, your gut feeling, your intuition, that pull, that nudge, those tingles, that truth. You must use that. Don't trust these, trust that. And follow the path of that, and it will not lead you astray. Things are not what they seem in the 3D. A lot of the things that you thought that you wanted, you thought needed to show up in the 3D, but you were about to experience a level of satisfaction and fulfillment and abundance and ease and luxury that you have never experienced in the 3D. It will be beyond. Those of you that have candy flipped before, I'm just saying, the reality is fun. But you've got to find this balance because a lot of what is keeping people from creating what they'd really like to have right now is that they think it needs to look a certain way in the 3D. When the truth is, how much work have you been doing energetically? How much have you been anchoring in the new? I know that for me, I've been expending a great deal of energy energetically. I always do. I work on many different levels. I work in many different places, in many different realms. I astral travel. I lucid dream. Play with energy. Energy plays with me. So there's so much more. 94% of the universe. Statistics made up on the spot. It might be one of them. A lot of the universe is beyond what you can actually perceive with your human senses. Above 90%. 99% of your being is space. Everything is energy. Nothing is what it seems, and nothing is solid or real unless you make it solid or real. Okay, so I haven't had a regular job, I got to tell you this, since October 18th, 2013. I did work briefly for a company that I was really fascinated with what they were up to on the planet. So I went to actually go work and get an education while I worked for them, which, by the way, is a really smart thing to do, to get paid to get educated rather than that old worn out thing that puts people in debt. There are a lot of different ways to learn. And then I worked at a restaurant really briefly because I actually kind of missed being around people. And I sling some barbecue. And my butt looks good in jeans. But other than that, you guys, I haven't had a job or a boss since 2013, and I haven't required it. And it doesn't have to look anything like what you think it needs to look like. And it, like, people are like, well, Brooke, where does your money come from? Like, at what point in my life? I just know that I'm provided for, and it shows up in beautiful and amazing ways. Sometimes it's an idea. Sometimes it's a thing I act on. I don't know. Sometimes it's a winning lotto ticket. Sometimes it's, who knows? It shows up all the different ways. The deal is like, you actually have to become willing to step into that cornucopia and actually own, like, you are everything that you require. And then, like, lean into that. Jump whole ass into that. Go swim in the depths of yourself and acknowledge how amazing you really are. And then go begin to create collaborations. Once you know your amazingness, go begin to create collaborations with other amazing people who are amazing at what they do. And stop wasting a freaking second of your life doing shit that you're not good at or called to. They don't want me to say that either, because it's death to the establishment. Get a job. Be redundant. No, like, you can actually be the fullness of you, and you can get paid for a gazillion different things. Like, Pam, dude, seriously, start making shit and start an Etsy. For real. People like to buy handmade things, especially now, things with love. Okay? Seriously, like, we're in the information age and technology is amazing. There is literally a way to get paid for whatever you feel like doing. I could, like, get paid right now for dancing in the comfort of my own home, which I do anyway. All right. So anyway, this kind of leads me to, what is the new mission? What is the new thing? We are stepping into fullness of being. We are bringing ideas earthside. We are calling forth all of our greatness, all of our power, all of our knowing, and we're going to put it to work on earth. And here's the deal. I don't buy that old paradigm bullshit that you got to like work alone and there's got to be competition and all this other crap. No, we're the beehive. We're the beehive, and we're stepping into a beautiful evolution. We're going to be willing to boldly express it, brilliantly embody it. So what I'm creating is a hub and a solution for many of you who have felt like, gosh, I really want to get my work in the world. Because look, like, here's the deal. There are, pardon me, there are so many amazing, but there are so many just like free-floating independent coaches out there. And you can 100% build a coaching business that way. A ton of people do. I have. And honestly, you guys, like, there's some things I'm really not very good at. And I miss having community. I really believe that it takes a village. I really, like, call me crazy, but I don't believe just one person can provide everything that I need. I don't think that, you know, one perspective is always enough for people when it comes to breakthrough and stepping into their brilliance. And I believe that we all have bits of genius and gifts and life skills and know-how and magic that has made us uniquely qualified for the work that we're here to do on the planet. And what I ultimately would love to create, am creating, are healing spaces where we all get to work in our genius and live in community. And be surrounded by like energy people and have more than enough, this cornucopia here on earth. See, because this new space is about actually like opening the door to contribution and creating conscious contributory relationships and living in awareness. More is available than anything that you've allowed yourself to have up until this point. And we know that that's the case because you feel that there's something else possible. What if you don't actually need to have it all figured out right now? What if you could start small with exactly where you're at? You guys, what that looked like for me was, oh my God, I have 5 minutes. Could I just pop on and make a real life video right now? I'm freaking terrified. Oh my gosh, I have this thought rolling through my head. I'm actually going to take the time to stop and put it down, either on paper or in a forum where maybe it can reach somebody else. Oh my gosh, I have this awesome idea. Rather than saying, well, I'd have to do this first. No, what if you just go take action on that idea right now? Okay, because like you are a wellspring of creativity. Truly. And the beautiful thing is it's like your creativity is unique and individuated and your genius, and you're this beautiful puzzle piece that fits into this tapestry of other amazing individuals. And it actually is going to require us all connecting, you know, and each person getting to be who they are, the fullness of them, but nothing more than they are and nothing less than they are. When you're required to be something that you're not, it feels heavy and like a burden, like you have a heavy backpack on. Does it not? And as long as you're chopping off bits of you or turning down the volume of you to try to fit in with somebody else, well, no wonder you don't feel good enough, because you've never been all of you. That's usually the only reason why people don't feel good enough, by the way, is they've never actually allowed themselves to be all of them. My eyes look huge tonight. Okay. Well, this was awesome. If y'all have had a thing brewing and you're wondering how to bring it earthside, we're going to be covering all of that. This is the new direction. This is the new space. Before we pop off, there were 3 other things that popped up that I'm just going to show you really fast. Okay, so vision quest. I guess talking stick is what I'm talking about first. It's backwards. Deceptive. Things are not what they seem. Talking stick. Y'all, you got something to say. I got this like itchy in my throat right now. You've got something to say. You need to say it. Make the phone call, sing the song, express the truth, acknowledge the bullshit, have the conversation, do the Facebook Live, start the YouTube channel, write the blog. Like, however you need to get it out, get it out. Talking stick. A new day is dawning. It's time for you to speak. Dream traveler. Okay, well, first off, this is beautiful. Like, can I go there now, please? Oh. Dream traveler. So this one talks a lot about, I'm seeing a lot of blue here again. Again, sharing, speaking, getting out there, allowing yourself to be visible. I'll tap on that here. But dream traveler, you've got information coming to you in your dreams right now that you need to be paying attention to. You need to be paying attention to it. It's going to flow right through you. You need to actually have paper. Brooke, listen. You need to have paper next to your bed. You need to be able to write it down when you wake up. Because dream things are sometimes fleeting, but you've got answers coming to you in your dreams. Also, the information that you've received in your dreams before, you need to know and you need to own that that was real, that that was accurate, and that that is coming. You've been prophetic for a while, Brooke, and you haven't acknowledged it. Oh. Curiouser. Some of you need to go on a vision quest. It is really hard to know where you're going when you have no idea what it looks or feels like. And, you know, I promise you, it doesn't look the way you thought it needed to look in the 3D. That thing that you're here for is not actually 2.3 kids, a white picket fence, and a minivan. Just not. Now, you might have some of those things in your life, but that is not the totality of why you are here. Okay? Your attachment to thinking that things need to look or be a certain way in order to is what's actually keeping you from your potency and your magic and your gift on the planet. And it's restricting you. That's what's shutting off your money flows. It needs to look a certain way. It needs to be a certain way. No, it doesn't. Be open-handed with it. And there's always a fun exercise. When you're really afraid to spend the money, spend it. They really didn't want me to say that one. See, because we've been taught you need to have a savings account. The energy of savings is super interesting. It puts out this energy of like, I actually need to be saved. And so it creates things that you need to be saved from. Everything was blow that up. Chuck that. You don't need to be saved. Have a rainy day fund. Okay, well, a rainy day is what you're wishing for. Why not have a havings account? Why not have a growings account? Why not have a fun account? You could have a fun yum and cum account. That'd be fun. Hey. You could like treat yourself to all things orgasmic, like soft sandy beaches and delicious beverages and hammocks in the jungle, right? But no, you've been trained to have a savings account. Like, how much are you creating shit to be saved from? Come on now. Silly things like that. So yeah, I would look at you guys. I would look at whatever your greatest fear is, whatever your thing that you're like, oh, I would love to, but I can't. Anywhere that you're like, but I can't. Where do you have a big butt? I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. No, everybody's got a butt. Some of them are bigger than others. Look, unless it's like a cushy seating space, you got to get rid of that because it's just leaking your power. It's just a space where you know what you actually want and need to do, and it feels easier to say but. Yeah, but I'd really love to, but I know this is my truth, but that's so boring. Like the kids say, like, that's so 2020. We're not doing that anymore. All right, like, what if you just went and did the thing you know you need to do? All right, y'all. I love you. Have a good night. I'm out of here. Hasta la pasta.